What's up, everybody? Savage Bernie here, and today I want to talk about something a little different. Can we talk about the Gears of War community? Please, for the love of God, someone's got to do it. I'm willing to do it, so let's jump right into this thing. So Gears of War getting picked up by ESL, that's a huge thing. That's something that we really need if we're going to succeed as a game and as a competitive community. If we're going to succeed as a competitive game, we want to see Gears of War grow, we need stuff like this because we have the little guys. We've got people like Hype and Matters that really pick up the slack when the big people aren't there. But I mean, back in the day, we were carried by MLG. What happened was the game and the community, we didn't turn up the way we needed to. We weren't there whenever the community needed us to be, whenever the developers needed us to be, that sort of thing. So what can we do to make it different? Well, first of all, we can stop complaining about things. I was watching a stream earlier today where they were talking about drug testing for competitive players, how they don't want them to have marijuana or Adderall in their system. Well, no shit, they don't want you to have drugs in your system. You've got to think about it from their perspective. Regardless of whether it's performing enhancing drugs or not, you've got players running around with stuff in their system that's not seen as, I don't even know, it's not politically correct. That's not the right term. It's more of like, it's not the social norm. You got to understand that gamers are a subset of the culture, that we're not the majority. So like when ESPN picks up a gaming tournament and it shows it, they don't want those players on drugs. That just gives more fuel to the fire for the haters. They can say, look at those gamers. They're all hopped up on God knows what, playing their games. They're not even good. We can't have that. Just as a gaming community, not even as just a Gears community. This is gaming as a whole. We can't have that kind of negative publicity. Everything we do from now on is going to be highly criticized, no matter what it is. We can love everything that we're doing, and that's great. We should love everything that we're doing. I'm so glad that Heroes of the Storm is on ESPN, because that means in my lifetime, we're going to see a shift in what kind of content is being created. Even now, we've seen a shift in it. YouTube has become huge. Twitch has blown up. Things like that weren't around 10 years ago. Not in the same way, anyway. I mean, YouTube was around. But now look at us. We have $1 million tournaments. Call of Duty's in the X. You can medal in Call of Duty. Can we talk about that? In the X Games, you can get a gold medal in Call of Duty. Optic has done it. That's a big deal for gaming. And if we want to continue like this, we're going to have to give some things up. We're going to have to grow the fuck up sometimes. We got to get out of that stereotype as the 12-year-old in his parents' basement that threatens to call Microsoft because you beat him in Call of Duty. We have to not be the players that blame the lag every time we do bad. Have you ever noticed how professional sports players, when they're in their interview, they don't talk about, oh man, like he was just being so mean and the ball, like in the field with the wind, and that's why we didn't win. No, they own up to it. They're like, look, we just didn't play quite as good as we should have, and so we ended up here. Next week we're going to do better. We're going to try harder. We're going to do better. That's the kind of attitude we need in gaming, and I think Gears of War could lead the way. See, we have this really rare opportunity. We've been rebranded as a game. We went through this dead period from Gears of War 3 until now. And now, the community, it's back and it's growing, but we have to be careful. We have to be careful. So I encourage you to share this video with every pro gamer you know. I want them to hear this, that we have to be different. We have to make it worth the time of the people that want to see Gears of War, to see it. This is entertainment now. If you want to make a living playing professional Gears of War, you can do that now. That's totally possible. But you have to earn that. It's not just going to be given to you. You can't just be good at the game. That's fine. If you're good at the game but you're a dick, you're not going to get anything out of it. We're past that point as a game now. Now, as a game and as a game media, we've got to do better. We've got to act responsibly. First thing we need to do is we need to get more tournaments. And I don't just mean more 2v2 matches or GBs or anything like that. We have to grow it. We have to build organizations. You've got your clans that are well known. Look at S, Avenge, Chaos, that type of thing. We're gonna be looking to them for this, at least right now, until other people can grow. You don't just see things pop up out of nowhere. We have to take these existing organizations, we have to make them, we have to mold them into what we need for the future of this game. See, we've already got our community leaders. We've got people like Butter, the Razor Deads, SAS Shadows, those kind of people that already kind of define the Gears of War community to the rest of the Gears of War community, if that makes sense. That was worded a little weird. Let me try something else. We have to take the already existing community leaders that we have in people like Butter and Shadows and the Razored Edge, and we have to make sure that those are the kind of leaders that we want. Take a look at Like Butter's content, at Iceman's content, at Advocate's content. You'll notice it's all kind of the same, which is not a bad thing. It just means that there's one type of way that Gears of War is seen right now, and that's not a bad thing. But I need us all to ask ourselves, is that how we want to look? Do we want to look like Iceman and Advocate and Like Butter, or should we raise up some new type of content? Shadows does a different type of content. Razored Edge does a different type of content. Now is the time that we rebrand our community. Now is the time that we come together and we say, look, this is our pro community. Yeah, we've had some issues in the past with MLG and stuff like that, but we're not going to let that affect us now. We're not going to argue and whine like little babies. We're going to be adults about this. All right, we don't like this map in competitive. Here's why. All right, we need this map in competitive. We don't need this game type. That kind of thing. Instead of taking to Twitter and whining about it, let's actually change something. Anyway, guys, I've been Savage Bernie, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.